Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to this Unitarian Universalist Church in Springfield, Vermont. We welcome everyone, but we like to know we are a covenantal community, which means that we have a covenant that we try to follow. We promise to take care for and to learn from each other. And together we seek to deepen and broaden our faith and understanding. Your coming will enrich our covenant and our community. So welcome, everybody. Just a side note today, we're going to start, when we have services, we're going to start locking our back door and keep this door locked and just, take a look at people coming in. Just for safety. So
open it until 10 when it will be locked.
At 10 o'clock here and a little earlier in the back room, just, to be safe. So my name is Pat Callahan. I represent the Board of Trustees here. So today we have Jo Bregnard, and she's going to start off the celebration for the Lunar New Year, which I believe is Tuesday, which is also Mardi Gras, so we have a lot to celebrate. So if you don't know our routine, we do have coffee and snacks in the meeting room next door. So we hope everybody stays and yaks a little bit. Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Even though it's Tuesday, we can say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And I'm going to also say congratulations. We say congratulations as a carryover from ancient times because you made it through the winter. Because winter was a tough time. It still is a tough time. And I also like to think maybe congratulations that we made it through last year. You might know me. I teach Tai Chi here just about every week. And I'm here about every other month or so to share some things that I've learned that I think you might find useful. And yes, today we're going to talk about Lunar New Year eventually, but more why it's important to celebrate the new year now instead of in January, and how you're okay if all your resolutions went out the window and you need to start from scratch. It's the perfect time to do it. I thought this reading from Deng Ming Dao, I have a couple readings from him today. This is his first reading for the first day of the year, of our calendar year in January, and I thought it was apropos. This is the moment of embarking. All auspicious signs are in place. This is for the word beginning. In the beginning, all things are hopeful. We prepare ourselves to start anew. Though we may be intent on the magnificent journey ahead, all things are contained in this first moment: our optimism, our faith, our resolution, our innocence. In order to start, we must make a decision. This decision is a commitment to daily self-cultivation. We must make a strong connection to our inner selves. Outside matters are superfluous. Alone and naked, we negotiate all of life's travails. Therefore, we alone must make something of ourselves, transforming ourselves into the instruments for experiencing the deepest spiritual essence of life. Once we make our decision, all things will come to us. Auspicious signs are not a superstition, but a confirmation. They are a response. It is said that if one chooses to pray to a rock with enough devotion, even that rock will come alive. In the same way, once we choose to commit ourselves to spiritual practice, even the mountains and valleys will reverberate to the sound of our purpose. We have a song. Lo, the earth awakes again. It's number 61. And Matt will lead us. No, that's not what you're supposed to be singing. Hold on. Okay. I found a story for you for today that skips ahead a little bit because I will give you the background on the Lunar New Year, but I thought this was a good little explanation for some of the questions that some of you have already had about Lunar New Year. So I hope you enjoy this little tale. A long, long time ago in China, there was a big, nasty beast named Nian, whose name means year. He had razor sharp teeth, giant claws, and a really mean growl. On the darkest night of the year, when the new moon was in the sky, he would sneak into the village and scare everyone in sight, even the animals. People dreaded the new moon for many, many years, until a wise old man told them 3 things Nian was afraid of: loud noises, fire, and the color red. The next time Nian came, the villagers fought back. They hit their drums as loud as they could, lit all the firecrackers they had, and wore the color red from head to toe. Nian ran far away and never came back. After that, people started celebrating the new moment, which was called Lunar New Year. The end. More to come on that. And we have another hymn. Wake Now My Senses, number 298. All five verses, Matt?
Oh my goodness. No, we'll just do 3. I'm sorry. This happened to me again last time. Apologies.
Don't be sorry.
Okay.
3 will be.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the truth. Honor thy beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the wide sky. Take as your neighbor, both stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to end.
Okay. On the back of your program or up here or in your head, would you say with me the words of our affirmation? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve the needs of all beings, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with the source of our being. Thank you. We'll take our offering for the ongoing work of this congregation and food for the family center.
Okay, hang on a minute. Little switcheroo here. Okay. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Good. All right. So again, I want to just talk today about why this is a time that makes the most sense to celebrate the year that's ahead of us and what we have to expect from the year ahead of us, including Lunar New Year on Tuesday. Here's here's what we'll talk about. We'll talk about the January 1st New Year, what that's all about. We'll do a little review of the cycle of the seasons. We'll talk about Imbolc and Candlemas, two celebrations that you might be familiar with that just happened recently. The Chinese Spring Festival that leads into Lunar New Year, and then the Year of the Fire Horse that's ahead of us, and how you can celebrate with us right here this week. And then I kind of rearranged the schedule a little bit, and we're going to go right into a meditation after this to see if you can tap into your internal fire horse and see what that horse might be wanting for the year ahead. Okay, so the January 1st New Year. Calendars didn't used to have January and February. January and February were like lost months because you couldn't do anything outside agriculturally. I guess militarily or commercially, you couldn't make anything. So there were not even names for January and February. The year started in March and went from March to December. But over time, January and February were added. And as you probably know, January was named after the Roman god. I gotta get my notes. Yes, Janus. Who said that? That was smart. Yes, you're reading ahead. The god of beginnings. Thank you for my own notes. And it really, when you get a new calendar, put the new calendar up, change the flip the page, it feels like new. It feels fresh and clean, and we're coming off the holidays, and it makes sense that way, maybe for us. But after all of these changes that go back to the year 153 BCE, so a long time ago, in a way, it doesn't make sense, and that's what I'm going to set you up for today. It goes against everything, especially those of us in New England might be feeling, and especially again coming off the holidays, which is a crazy time of year. So there's a Julian calendar and a Georgian calendar, and we follow the Georgian calendar. The difference between Julian and Georgian has to do with the leap year, which we're not going to get into. I have notes in case somebody asks me about it, but I don't think we need to get into that. Okay, move this again. I know you know the seasons, but I just want to review them with an eye toward what exactly is happening outside at the different times of year. Spring starts, life, bursts forth from its slumber. You think of youthfulness, you think of energy. There's a lot of newness in everything at that time of year. It's like that outside, and a lot of us feel that inside as well, which is good. We're reflecting what's going on outside. Summer is a time of abundance. Plants are sending off fruit. Our gardens are overflowing. We have parties. We're going to barbecues. We like to be outside. There's a real social quality about that, and life is maturing outside. If you have perennials, you might notice your perennials are coming into their own about that time. Flowers are flowering then. When we get to fall, it's a time of shedding and release. Plants are older. There's a slowing down in all of the processes of the plants and animals as well. And it can be a little sad for people after this big time of abundance in the summer. And then when we get to winter, and I've talked to you all about this in the past, it's a time of rest, and it's a time of slumber and maybe regrouping, because we know that the cycle is going to start again. So where we are, even though it feels like winter, we've got a lot of snow on the ground and it's cold. I just saw a drip off must have dripped off the roof right there. And the sun is really shining today. And I think if you went outside and looked around and we did maybe a mindful outdoor experience today, you would see lots of little buds on trees. So we're right there. It's time for the spring to start, like any moment now. So that's really where we're at. This seasonal cycle is something that we follow too in our aging and our growth. When we're young, we can do a lot of things. We run around, we have energy. As we get old, we have a time when we maybe are having children. And then as we get older, we slow down. And then toward the end of our life, it seems like winter. It's a time of rest and it's a time of regrouping. And the cycle will begin again with somebody else. So it's kind of interesting how we mirror what's going on. So 2 festivals that have happened recently, Imbolc, also called Candlemas, February 1st or 2nd, around that time, comes from the Celtic triple goddess Breed. And the term Imbolc actually means in the belly. And it was a time when sheep would, when sheep would be starting to lamb or getting prepared to lamb. And Pat mentioned all the different things that are happening on Tuesday as well. There's all these festivals that are happening right around this time. Whatever you believe in, you tend to have a festival that happens this time in February that's probably related to something similar. I might be pronouncing this one wrong. Tu B'Shvat, the Jewish celebration, means the New Year of the trees, which is around this time as well. And then, of course, we had Groundhog Day, right on the 2nd, which takes its origin also from this time of, finding something new, coming out of our slumber and checking out what's going on. So everything's always related. So looking to China, the Spring Festival happens it actually happens on the 2nd new moon after winter solstice. So the celebrations I just talked about, they come at cross-quarter days between winter solstice and the spring equinox. The Spring Festival happens at the 2nd new moon after winter solstice. And it's at the new moon, which will be Tuesday. The Spring Festival lasts for 2 weeks. It's about food, family, travel. The color red envelopes are given to children with money in them. Drums and fireworks, as we know, to keep Nyan away. And then it ends with the Lantern Festival, which is on the full moon. So that's why it's 2 weeks. And this is based on, obviously, because we're looking at a moon cycle, a lunisolar calendar. So while we're on more of a solar calendar, this is based on what's going on with the moon. And China is also based on a 60-year cycle, which I'll tell you more about when I talk about Lunar New Year right here. So there are, as you know, 5 elements, because I've been here talking about those 5 elements and as they relate to the seasons. And there are 12 animals in the zodiac, which we've all been at a Chinese restaurant with the little menu and you look up what year of the rat or year of the sheep or year of the horse. So 12 animals, 5 elements, multiply them together, you get a 60-year cycle. So the year of the fire horse will not happen again for another 60 years. So Lunar New Year, which again happens first, is all about auspicious actions. We're going to be kind to each other. We're setting the tone for the year ahead. We clean our house before Lunar New Year because we don't want to sweep the good luck away. So you have a couple days to get that done before Tuesday. You also want to settle your debts if you owe anybody money. You want to start everything nice and fresh. New clothes, if you're going to get a haircut, you get it cut before Tuesday because you don't want to cut the good luck away. No harsh words, no anger, lots of flowers, prosperity. It's a beautiful time and time for celebrations. And I will be talking more about that too. Oh, let me just go back. So that little symbol there in the upper right, that's a fu, and it means happiness. So you might see those even if you go to get takeout Chinese and you peek over somebody's shoulder to look at the calendar, it'll have a fu on it for happiness for the year. So this year is the year of the fire horse, and horses, and the fire horse in particular, they're full, there's lots of energy, dynamic, passionate, they're powerful, but they can be unpredictable and a little restless. They're all about speed, initiative, and really big change. Last year was the year of the snake, and the snake was kind of quiet and close to the ground. fire horses bolting out of the gate. It's a very, very different energy. So if you wanted to learn a little bit more about the fire horse, because there's lots more to say about it, we're gonna have a celebration here on Tuesday from 10 to about noonish. We'll do a little Tai Chi in the sanctuary here. Whether you've done it or not, there'll be a great group of people looking to practice together. And we're gonna play with some Tai Chi walking and some Qigong that brings in the energy of the fire horse. And then we'll head into the activities room for some paper crafts, traditional paper crafts, and some refreshments. So we'd love to have you if you'd like to join us for that, to really see what the year of the fire horse is all about. So I was interested in seeing what the fire horse might be motivating you to do. And I thought maybe we could think a little bit more about it if I guided you through a little bit of a meditation. So get yourself comfortable in your seat. And just to set this up again, this is from Caitlin Blair's post on tiny cottage therapy. This time of Lunar New Year, it's a collective pause between where we've been and where we're going. So it gives us a chance to check in before things really start taking off. And you know, there can be this urgency around January 1st, the January 1st New Year. This is a different kind of energy. And it invites a lot of reflection before you move forward. And the thing I do like about this, the Chinese New Year time, is it's 2 weeks. It's not just like this one day time. So you really have time to prepare and think about where you're going. So again, as we covered, year of the fire horse, momentum, going forward, vitality, excitement, perseverance. But we also want to balance that with what's going on inside and make sure that we're ready for that. And so that our fire horse isn't dragging us down the road, because that wouldn't be a good feeling. So we want to be sustainable about it, moving with intention. So go ahead and get comfortable. Maybe put your back against the back of the chair. Feel your 2 feet anchored on the ground. Feel your sit bones anchored in the seat. And you can choose to allow your gaze to grow nice and gauzy, maybe by looking out a window, or you can cast it down in front of you, or feel free to close it if you're comfortable doing that as well. So I'll ask a series of questions for you to just roll around in your head and think about. The first one is, where do I feel pulled to move forward this year? And also, where do I feel rushed rather than ready? Go ahead and take an inhale and exhale. The horse is often associated with freedom and independence. And for many people, this shows up as a longing to live authentically. So a question for yourself: what is a change I can make to honor my own opinions, choices, and needs? Consider one small, sustainable way to practice agency in this season. So take an inhale and an exhale. The horse energy is embodied, and it reminds us that movement isn't just about achievement. It's also about circulation and release. The fire horse, you can't even think about the fire horse without thinking about it charging forward. So imagine yourself astride upon your personal fire horse. So maybe you take your feet and your legs away from your midline a little bit, like you're riding a horse. Really feel your feet on the earth or in the stirrups. Maybe you sit up a little bit taller. And I'll read a few more questions, and go ahead and invite and welcome any movement that might come up for you. So you might have your hands on your legs and you might shift forward and back, or you might feel some circling of your upper body, whatever might feel good for a little bit of movement here. Because before movement comes some clearing. Choose something to release. And you can ask yourself, do I need to release an outdated expectation? Do I need to release a habit that's draining me? Or maybe I could release a belief about how I should be moving through life. So welcome any shifting or movement here on your saddle, on your stirrups, upper body, supported by your hands on your lap if that feels good. And take an inhale and an exhale. You can continue to shift and move as it feels right for you, or find some stillness. Horse years can bring excitement and opportunity, but without intentional care, they can tend to get away from us. They can amplify exhaustion, and instead of considering like goals at the end of a journey, can you think of how you might feel on that journey? And consider some intentions that support your energy regulation during that time. So a few more questions. I want to move at a pace that honors my limits. Yes? Ask yourself, do I want to notice when my body asks for rest or movement? And maybe consider that I want my momentum in my body to feel nourishing and not draining. So really tap into how you might be feeling through this year and what can support you best. Go ahead, take an inhale and an exhale. This year, the horse is also associated with the fire element, which in Chinese philosophy relates to warmth, passion, vitality, and of course, the heart. Fire can be energizing and illuminating, but when uncontained, it can lead to burnout, irritability, and depletion. So fire energy asks for discernment by inviting you to notice the difference between passion that nourishes you and a pressure that consumes you. I invite you to place a hand over your heart and notice what kind of warmth you feel there. It can be emotional, or maybe it's physical. Maybe you can actually feel warmth underneath your hand. To yourself, name one place in your life where you want more warmth. And that could show up as connection or joy or creativity or something else. And then know one place where you need some more containment. And that might show up as boundaries, rest, or pacing. Take an inhale and an exhale. With your hand on your heart here, all the different things that might have come up for you, see if you can kind of tattoo them on your heart with your hand so that you can really remember and feel what things you might want to take with you on this fire horse journey for the year ahead. Go ahead and start to bring yourself back to the room that we're in. You can gently blink open your eyes and swivel your head around, take in what's going on outside you. Look at the folks nearby. And yeah, any movement that feels good to you, including a big stretch and a yawn. We do have a little bit of time if anybody wanted to share what's coming up for them for the year ahead. But I also want to say too that in the activities room after our time here together. I think everything's still in place from where we left it on Tuesday. Sue Rubel and I placed some paper on each of the tables with a pen, and you'll see temporarily hanging up on our bulletin board a dragon with a couple of wishes already pre-populated on there for you. So you're welcome to go ahead and write down your wish for the year ahead, whatever it might be. And there's some tape on, I don't even know what device it is. There's some tape right near the bulletin board where you can tape your wish to the dragon. And we're going to move that dragon to the Great Hall at some point, and it's going to stay up for about a month, I think. And those of you at home, if you want, you can put your wishes in the chat, or you can send them to me if you have my contact information, and we're happy to write those out for you and include your wishes as well, so that everybody's included. But did anybody have anything to share about what they're thinking for the year ahead? And hey, you know, your intention or what's come up for you can be exactly the same thing that you promised yourself in January, but it might just have a little bit of different energy.
Could I just clarify something?
Yeah.
So for the sun signs, you need to know your birth date, that's your sign. What you're saying is it's like horse fire, which means in the lunar Chinese tradition, am I correct that you need to know the year you're born and the date. With the year, you have to get the whole thing, you need to go to your specific birthday.
Yeah, this is a good question. So a lot of us, again, going back to Chinese takeout place with the menu, with the placemats that have the different years, the years change at Lunar New Year. So the year of the fire horse starts on Tuesday. We're still in the year of the snake. And that moves around every year based on when the new moon is. So I think the horoscope that we looked at having in hand on Tuesday has the dates of when the change of the Lunar New Year happened each year. Because yes, some people who were born in January will be one animal. And if you were born in February or March after the Lunar New Year, you're a different animal in the Chinese zodiac. So yeah, you need to know not just what the animal is, but when the Lunar New Year is. They, a lot of times that people will simplify it and not include that information, but yeah, to know your specific animal and the element that goes with your animal, you need to know when Lunar New Year was each year. So I can't remember, I haven't looked at that in a while, and I'll look at it again. We'll try to have on Tuesday the chart that shows each year when the Lunar New Year is, because sometimes you'll get a chart that just has, you know, these years are for the year of the rat, and it's not quite that straightforward. Yeah, it's a good question. Anybody else got anything, or anybody from home, including that black cat with its 2 ears poking up? All right, well, you'll have, yeah, go ahead, Emily.
I have a little comment for you.
Oh, yeah, please.
My astrological sign is the ram, and I think my lunar, or this thing is the tiger. This fire horse wants to cool down. So good luck with that this year, but that's one of my goals. I've had enough big fiery, so.
And that's totally fine. That's what brings up a really good point, Hallie. Just because it is the fire horse doesn't mean you have to jump on and or hold on for dear life. This is your energy to use as feels good to you. I am also it's a ram, sometimes it's called a sheep. I am also that zodiac sign as well. And I learned that rams and sheeps are good friends to horses. I did a lot of diving into this Chinese astrology to prepare for this time. And they're often together in the pasture. So it's not like you're fighting, because there are some signs that oppose each other, that they don't like each other, and the Rams are not like that. So your energy is good, and you're totally within your ability to say, I'm going to cool down this year. And I think too, that's maybe what a fire horse would get from a Ram, is learning how to chill out a little bit. There's an interesting little story about the order of the zodiac, the Chinese zodiac. So there's 12 animals. And why do they come in the order that they do? And I don't have the whole story committed, but I thought this was interesting, the transition between the snake and transition from snake to horse years. So the story goes that the snake either wrapped itself around one of the horse's legs, or it curled up and hid itself in one of the horse's hooves. And as the horse was running the race, the snake just hung out and was getting this free ride, until right before the finish line, the snake jumps off and crossed the finish line first. So that's why the snake comes before the horse year. So what's interesting about this is this idea that horses can carry a lot of things, that they, they're often loaded up either to do work out in fields or to actually carry belongings from one place to another. So they have this ability to carry a lot of weight. They have 4 legs and they're sturdy and they can do this. So some people have said, let the horse carry your stuff this year. The horse likes to do that, and let the horse, because the horse won't even know, like the snake. The horse didn't know it was carrying the snake. So let the horse carry whatever it is that needs to be carried. So I thought that was pretty cool. The other thing that I thought was interesting is that fire horses, while they seem quite independent and on their own, and breeze blowing through the mane and, on the beach or wherever you might picture your horse, there's a sense of community. There's a herd. And like a herd or a community, there's that same feeling of, it's too much for me, let somebody else carry it for now. I'll carry when it's my turn to carry. So I thought that was a nice way to think about it too. And that lines up really well with Western astrology for the year, is a lot about community too. Anybody else? Yeah.
You say there's 5 elements, so it's fire horse, water horse, earth horse, air horse.
So in Chinese astrology, or Chinese elements are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. It's a little different. There's not air, and air doesn't line up exactly with metal. China.
Can you say them again?
Yep. Wood is spring. Fire is summer. Earth is late summer. Metal is autumn, and water is winter. And I don't know why I pulled the seasons out. They have lots of connotations, but have to do with seasons. Now, the next horse year won't happen for 12 years, right? Because there's 12 animals, and it will be the next element, which will be earth. And it's okay if that totally went over your head, but that's how. So the animals are cycling every 12 years, the elements are cycling every 5 years. So to get the combination of the fire horse, it won't happen again for 60 years. It is cool. Yeah. Yeah. And so the element provides the energy of the animal. And so we're coming out of, I think, wood snake. I'm assuming we're coming out of wood snake, which it was, again, really different. Close to the ground, quiet, shedding, making transformations, different kind of transformation than a fire horse.
If the snake comes before the horse, would it have been fire?
No, because the element's changing also, is my understanding.
Only changed every 5 years.
No, it changes every year, but there's 5 of them. Don't worry about it. Wait till somebody tells you what year it is, and then you'll know.
It's a wood snake.
Was it? Yeah, that
Is a wood
Still is a wood snake, right, until Tuesday. So go get your hair cut, go clean your house, get ready, buy your red clothes. Anybody got anything else before we sing again? We have O Life That Maketh All Things New, number 12. So thanks for coming along with the meditation and thinking about all this Lunar New Year stuff with me. This last reading that I have is from Dengming Dao, from the Lunar Dao. And this is actually the reading for the first day of the new year, the Lunar New Year, not January 1st. And it makes reference to Maitreya, who was a bodhisattva, and another philosopher who you may have heard of as well. And this is called The Old Child. Hold the old and hold the new. Be the elder and be the child. The name Lao Tzu means old master. The second word in the name, Zhu, also means child. There can be a right understanding out of an unusual translation. On the first day of the new year, we take care to act as positively as we want to act for the rest of the year. We learn from our past experiences and we optimistically resolve to do our best in the coming year. We are literally Lao and Zhu, elder and child. We carry the wisdom of the old, but look forward with the innocence of youth. When the ancients placed the birthdays of both Lao Tzu and Maitreya on this day, they looked forward to a young future. Each time we come to the first day of the year, this double sense of being old and young energizes us. Take this journey through this year. Move through all 4 seasons and through the festivals and memories generations have left behind for us. If, as a child, you imagine that the moon followed you when you traveled at night, you can keep that same image here and have the moon as your companion. To follow the lunar calendar is to literally follow the moon. The same moon that has been seen by every generation since the first human being, and it will be seen by every generation to come. We'll take what's useful from the past to guide our spiritual efforts in the present. Let us be the old, embarking on a journey toward the new. If the way seems hard to see at first, we need only remember that new sprouts are under the snow and the moon shines every night, encouraging us to seek enlightenment.